I'm going to be doing something a little bit different. I'm going to call it a Forgecast. Kind of messed up the squad a little bit. I'm going to do something sort of like a Forgecast. Just sort of going to talk about some of the stuff I've learned so far through doing this. Wisdom that I've acquired both online and in person, I guess. So yeah, that's pretty much what this is going to be about. This specific installment anyway. Don't know what other topics I'm going to cover, probably just general safety, general things you need to know, but for now it's going to be stuff I've learned. Mainly stuff I've learned the hard way. Which has been an interesting experience for me because there have been lessons I've learned the easy way. For instance, try and stay away from KOL as much as possible. Then there are things I've learned the hard way. Some more along the lines of actually get a forge. Yeah, for the longest time. So I started forging when I was probably about, like I say, I was about 13. It's probably in high school or something like that. I don't know. But I was pretty young when I started. But I didn't really have a forge. I had a blowtorch, and it wasn't even this one. It was all fancy and everything. It was one that didn't have a dial, no speeds, just straight torch. Pull the trigger on that thing and hope for the best. And that was alright, you know, it would heat up metal to about red hot, you know, fairly reliably, but it would take a long time, and it would always get really hot in here. I didn't know of any better way to do things, you know, I always thought forges are so expensive, and, you know, all that equipment is specialized, and all that good stuff, but really, it's worth it. It's worth it. Yeah, this is a bit of a pricey hobby to get into. I'll admit that. And it has come with its fair share of expenses. A lot of these bricks, though, I actually got for free from a friend of the family who made a big old pizza oven. Had some fire bricks left over. So, you know, sometimes I catch a lucky break like that. But, you know, for instance, this is my first forge I ever got. It was KO, as you can see, I sort of tried to line the inside with refractory cement. Didn't go too well, but effort. This is the first one I got. I got it for like 65 bucks on Etsy. You know, this is probably one of the cheapest ones I could get, though. I had just lost a seasonal job, and so I was like, running out of money, but I need something to do because, you know, it was summer and usually I have nothing to do during the summer, so, usually. So, yeah, that's kind of where I got that from, was just sort of boredom and money. So, I'd saved up some money, got myself that. I think I already had this blowtorch. I got that earlier in the year. I actually got this forge back in 2019. Yeah, 2019. This last year, actually. I've had it for a little over a year now. But, you know, I made small projects at first. Knives, my steel rings, a lot of them came out of that forge. In fact, all of them came out of that forge. So yeah, it's helped out a lot. And then there's my previous iteration of a fire brick forge, which was, if I can real quick let go of this forge door, this, which I've now repurposed, is a forge door. Well, it's getting there. Anyway, so that was the forge that I made, was that one. I didn't purchase another forge. I just figured, yeah, making it should be enough. So, I made myself that forge, and then when that broke down, I made this forge. Got some refractory cement that was, you know, pretty durable, so, 3,000 degree tolerance, I love it. But yeah, no, so that's pretty much that on, you know, getting a forge. I guess another lesson learned the hard way would be there's a lot of sanding. Oh, there's so much sanding. There is more sanding, I think, that goes into blacksmithing and all that stuff than there is actual forging. I cannot tell you how many hours I've spent sanding my pieces. And before you know, I used to brush finish everything. Figured, oh, that's the best way to take off scale, and whatever stays is good. Now I look back and I'm like, wow, those pieces lack quality entirely. And I didn't even put handles on them half the time because I'd just burn out. And that was with the brush finish, so it tells you how lazy I used to be. But nowadays I have like a belt sander, although the one I've got right now is broken down, but we've got a new one on the way, so really happy about that. I have a little belt sander that I also use. That's the one I used to use before I got the big one. I don't know where that's at, but I actually just saw it not too long ago. Oh yeah, it's over there. But yeah, that's one of those things where it's like you don't expect it, but it is a thing. It definitely is a thing. Let's see. But yeah, sanding is definitely a thing. Stock removal, as infuriating as it can be sometimes, is definitely a necessary skill to have. So yeah, really don't know what else to say on that. Just found myself another workpiece. So yeah, another thing that I've learned is that gloves are a necessary component to any sort of blacksmithing. That one, I don't know if it was necessarily a hard lesson as much as it was just sort of a realization. As I said, I used to work on fairly small projects and such like that, didn't have an actual forge. So it was actually pretty difficult. I'd use pliers, like, grab the workpiece and whatnot, hold it as tight as I can, then, blow a torch. Let me tell you, that is really difficult to do. And I would not recommend it, although sometimes, it is necessary. I found myself having to do that a few times. And tongs are definitely something that I should probably get. Or make at least. In fact, I think with that workpiece I probably should. Yeah, I definitely also need gloves because, sometimes I work on something like this for reference. This is what I'm working on in here. But sometimes I work on something like this and I want to be able to hold it, pound away at it, but bare hands aren't exactly something you want on there because it's pretty temperature hot. If you have that barrier in between, it sort of alleviates that in a way. Everything has its limits. Obviously this had its limit. This is actually from a bronze meltdown. It actually burned the glove. Of course, I kind of was reaching in there and adjusting some stuff, so maybe that was stupidity on my part, but yeah, definitely it takes the main force of my stuff rather than my hands, so I'm happy about that. Oh, here we go. This is starting to look good. Alright. Okay, this actually brings us to our next lesson. Adjust your anvil height. Because I have to get on a stool to use this thing effectively. Alright. Here we go. 2. That did almost nothing. And in fact, it looks like I kind of pulled that one out too early. Yeah, so that one's gonna probably take a while to heat up, but fortunately it's already been heated up once. Usually after that it starts picking up for a while. So that's good. But yeah, definitely you're going to want to structure your workshop, if you consider doing this, you're going to want to structure your workshop in a nice, orderly, and effective manner. Increase the efficiency and such like that. Don't raise your anvil too high. don't have too much distance between the forge and the anvil because there's just more distance for your workpiece to heat up. And yeah, that's definitely something that should be promoted, is making sure everything works together nicely, because when it doesn't, you're losing out on a lot. So I find it a lot more fun to do it this way and to have that nice efficiency going on in here. Alright, second heat, here we go. Another lesson I've learned. Oh wow, that's even worse than last time. Another lesson I've learned: a good hammer. Definitely get yourself a good hammer. Sometimes, let's say you're starting out. This is a decent hammer. Wow, it feels light compared to that one. This is a decent hammer. You know, it's got this face on it that's real flat, and it'll tend to leave hammer marks because of that 90-degree angle there. It's just really harsh. So, I actually saw another guy do this on YouTube. Little hammer. See, and it's still got that pretty aggressive thing, but I rounded it off. So at least the hammer marks it leaves are a little bit more gentle. It's not perfect. By no means is it perfect. You know, it's got a nice little dish right there, so it's a little bit more gentle. I don't know how much of my last little thing I actually got. My phone overheated. Such as working in a workshop with Forge. So we'll see. Hopefully this one catches more. Yeah, actually, speaking of overheating, yeah, that's also another thing you gotta look out for whenever you're doing something like this, because you know, that's a real danger. So definitely one of those fixtures is water. Definitely have water, especially if it's summer, especially if it's California. You're gonna want some water. So yeah, it gets pretty hot in here. Just heat up the wrong part of the workpiece. Gotta wait a little bit longer. But yeah, water's definitely an important thing. Also, just making sure that the heat doesn't get too much. Properly ventilating, like right there, I got the garage door open. I could open that one, but I usually do that like in the middle of the day. I don't really feel the need to do it now, but it gets pretty hot in here. At least 90 degrees. Sometimes I get triple-digit days just out there. It gets even hotter in here, especially if I've got the forge on. But I'm not that insane. I don't do forging on triple-digit days unless it's nighttime like it is now. So yeah, here we go. Hopefully this works. Yeah, that's more of a maroon color, not the orange that I wanted. I don't think I'm gonna get a hammer for this video, but it is what it is. I've actually got somebody else in the workshop with me. Yeah, nice maroon color. I think that probably does it for today's installation. So yeah, I guess I will see you guys for our next installation. Till then, have a great day.